Gather around the table for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus. I am Drak, obviously, and this is my buddy Drakfu, and this instance is another familiar for Alliance players, but I'm not quite sure about Horde players, because playing from Alliance, I didn't really know about Ragefire Chasm when I first played through, but I definitely knew about this instance. And tonight, wow, it's just one of those things today, people. Today we're going to be taking on the Stormwind Stockade. Now, the Stockade has already had some reboots made in the past couple of years, especially with the Cataclysm revamp. So we're going to go ahead and take this on, and thankfully it's not that long of an instance, but since we're not a native of Stormwind, we don't get quests for it. So all we have to do is take out 3 bosses, and that's pretty much it. But as you can see, the Stockade is pretty run down. There we go. Go ahead and run through here really quick. Actually, I'm just going to double check really quick, because these rooms usually had somebody, and no, they don't have anybody. Not for Horde, but there are actually quests in here. Just basically kill the bosses, and then you're fine. But as you can see, there's been a bit of a breakout at the Stormwind Stockade. And there's a bunch of petty criminals that are just out. That's alright, not a problem for our buddy Drakfu. So let's go ahead and go down this way first. I love it, it's a bunch of thugs and troublemakers. I actually forgot to do it again, people. This is just going to be a thing that happens. Let's actually go into the Adventurer's Guide and see what they have to say about the Stockade. The Stormwind Stockade is a closely guarded prison built beneath the canals of Stormwind City. While Warden Fellwater keeps watch over the Stockade and highly dangerous criminals who call it home. Recently, the inmates revolted, overthrowing their guards and plunging the prison into a state of pandemonium. So our first one actually is going to be Randolph Moloch. This isn't quite the order of the instance, but there really is an order. Randolph Moloch, convict. I actually like that they added this. Convict number AC-317 Randolph Moloch. Charges: embezzlement, fraud, theft, and homicide. Moloch has been identified as the leader of the prison revolt, given his connections to the House of Nobles. However, the use of lethal force to subdue this convict is not authorized. Well, too bad for you guys, because I'm going to go ahead and smack! Randolph Moloch is dead. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Randolph Moloch, and I will be killing you all today. My epic schemes, my great plans, gone. Sorry, buddy. Now we're going to go this direction. Again, this instance doesn't really have a whole lot of order to it. But as you can see, this one has been taken over by fire elementals. Well, that's kind of odd. Originally, this was just nothing but criminals, but now they've actually added this in too, kind of to corroborate with the Cataclysm. And we even have a new boss, Lord Everheat. And I don't even think he was in the original one, but I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I played the original Stockades. There we go. We're just going to take all of these guys out in the rooms. Because I think if you don't, he actually will aggro, or they'll aggro to you as soon as you pull Everheat. And it's not like it's hard. This one, however, we can't really do anything with. So, Lord Everheat, let's go ahead and take a look at his lore. Lord Everheat, convict number... not applicable. Lord Overheat. Charges: homicide, multiple accounts. The natural disasters wrought by the Cataclysm caused elementals to erupt into the prison complex, slaughtering half of the inmates upon arrival. Removing these incensed threats is imperative to restoring order to the Stockade. Alright, and so with that, smack! Haha. Lord Overheat is now officially dead. Whee! So that's already 2 wings taken out. This is actually not a very long instance. I'm kind of actually surprised they kept it. Let's zoom the camera out a little bit, because it's actually a little disorienting. And then this is finally the knoll wing, I guess, because Elwyn Forest actually has a lot of knolls. So it only makes sense that they would also be a problem. But it's all Riverpaw knolls. Now, this is actually significant because the boss in here is the leader of the Riverpaw Knolls, Hogger. Now, I need to actually explain this a little bit. Who is Hogger? Because I do get this question, and could I actually explain it? Hogger is one of the named elites back in Vanilla WoW that a lot of us had to take on as young Alliance players, whether it be you were just playing human, or if you were a night elf who wanted to quest in the human zone, you had to take out Hogger. And Hogger was a pain in the butt. I still remember when Burning Crusade launched, one of the funnest things for people to do when they had nothing else to do was to start up level 1 raids to go kill Hogger. It's why he actually became kind of a joke at BlizzCon when the bosses, or when the raid teams actually coming in to test the content or whatever, would be facing a level 90 version of Hogger and him just ripping people apart. I remember when, I think it was BlizzCon 2012 or something like that, where they did the raid team race through the Firelands, and the winner got prestige, the loser got to have his entire raid team killed by Hogger. So, yeah, level 90 level 90 Hogger. So at that point, Hogger has plenty of reputation in the world, but also during the Cataclysm revamp, they actually made it so that you had to go capture Hogger, not kill him. And that's why he is in the Stockade. So, I think I've talked you guys' ear off enough. Let's actually go ahead and clear the room of all the Riverpaw menace before we take him on. So a bunch of shamans and footmen and slayers and looters. Even over here. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the lore of Hogger. I've already explained a lot of it, but convict number SC55, Hogger. Charges, too many to list here. Imprisoning the Riverpaw leader has come at a high cost, including the partial blinding of the warden. Fearing that Hogger might escape, the Feltwater has authorized the Knoll's termination with extreme prejudice. And it's also interesting, he does have a little bit of dialogue that we will probably read as soon as he falls. So, boom! Haha! And it's just, Forest just setback! It's an ongoing joke in Warcraft that the reason you see bosses come back and all that, and the joke they made is that wherever you beat them, it was merely a setback. Because that's how things usually work. Let's go ahead and grab his stuff. And that is actually the end of the Stockade. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know this is an incredibly short Dungeons and Drakfus, but as an added bonus, tomorrow you're going to be able to get an additional Drakfus as I take on Black Fathom Deeps. So till then, we'll see you next time.